And I'm back again. I have now carefully watched my milk. Now, ordinarily, if I wasn't doing this to show you what we're doing, I would just put the chocolate into the saucepan because it has a little bit more residual heat. But because I want to show you how the process works, I'm putting it in a clear bowl, and now the heat from the milk that has just come to the boil is going to melt your chocolate, because chocolate melts at body temperature, and clearly the milk is now at 100 degrees Celsius. So that is your sauce, your chocolate orange sauce made. So you're just going to stir the chocolate around, and the heat that's coming from the milk is going to melt that for you. Okay, you can see the milk's going chocolatey now. So now then you have a lovely chocolate and orange flavoured dipping sauce ready for our fruit to be dipped into. Okay, so let's talk about the preparation of the fruit for a minute. Okay, now what we're focusing on in doing this recipe is really, first of all, learning how to deal with milk, which is a bit temperamental sometimes, and chocolate, which definitely can burn if you don't prepare it the correct way. But we're also learning some extra knife skills and fruit shaping skills, I suppose you'd say. Right, I'm just going to put my sauce over out of the way while I chat with you about how we're going to prepare the fruit. So let's start with the melon. Ideally, my melon would have been orange, it would have been a rock melon, but because of the current situation, I had to make do with a green one. So that will just make me think about which order I put them onto the skewer. So I've got a nice range of colours on the skewers that we're doing, because we want them to look pretty, don't we? So I'm scooping out, I've cut my melon in half. Be careful, you're going to need a big knife to do that. It's, believe it or not, it's safer to use a big knife than a small knife when you're cutting something as large as a rock melon or a watermelon or so on. You're going to scoop the seeds. I've just got a teaspoon. Scoop the seeds out of the centre. And then we're going to do some fancy stuff with this. Ideally, I'd like you to make melon balls. Okay? Melon balls are fun to make and they look really pretty. And it looks like you've put a bit more effort in, so it makes it a bit more special. Especially if you were using this recipe, let's say for a children's birthday party or something, which it would be perfect for. So, if you have a melon baller, one of these gadgets, you go ahead and you just make a ball out of the melon. You just twist it around, almost like you're doing scooping an ice cream scoop out of the ice cream container, okay? If you don't have a melon baller, but you do have a set of measuring spoons, equally they've got round bits on the end, and you would do the same process, and you would still get not quite as perfect, but still a nice ball shape, okay? And again, same technique. The melon is nice and soft, so it's not difficult. Problem is that's a bit clattery because you've got lots of spoons going on. Now, if plan A you don't have plan A, you don't have plan B, let's go to plan C, teaspoon. And same process, you just scoop around with your teaspoon, and then you have more of an oblong shape, but still quite pretty and still developing decorative techniques, okay? So that's what we're going to do with our melon. And then I suggest you have a plate like I have, and you're going to need 18 of those melon balls, because like I said, we're making 18 of these. Let's talk about the kiwi fruit. You could use a large cook's knife, or you could use a smaller paring knife if you're more comfortable with that. Let's use the paring knife up. Okay, so you're going to top and tail your kiwi fruit. Always safety first. Topping and tailing, not only do you not want to eat those rough bits of your kiwi fruit, you want you to be working on a flat surface when you're taking the skin off. You could leave the skin on. It would be excellent to leave the skin on because most of the nutrients hide just underneath the skin, and the skin is really high in fibre. But that said, there is a school of thought that doesn't like that furriness from the kiwi fruit. So I'm going to take the skin off and I'm going to show you how to do that. So with my paring knife, using a claw grip so my fingers are right out of the way. I'm trying to get as fine a piece of skin off as possible. I'm just running my blade around the edge of the kiwi fruit. Okay, so do that for all 3 of your kiwi fruits, and then you're going to cut them into bite-sized pieces, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Now, our little kiwi fruit here packs a bit of punch, nutritionally speaking. He's got loads and loads of vitamin C, okay? More so than some citrus fruits. We always associate vitamin C with citrus fruits. So he's a handy little chap to have on these sticks. Improves the nutritional value. Right, so I've just cut my kiwi fruit in half. So again, I'm working on a flat surface. And then I'm going to cut it into chunks, let's say 1 centimetre thick. So they hold nice and firmly onto the toothpick. So let's say about that size, you know, a good bite-sized piece. And again, you're going to cut your 3 kiwi fruits just like that, okay? Working on using our correct grips. Our little strawberries, they're very tiny at the moment, but they're locally grown. We're in strawberry season at the moment, so that's nice. And we're just going to cut the tops off. You don't want to eat the green bits of the strawberry. Make sure you've washed them as well and dried them. I've done that earlier on. You don't need to see me washing fruit. And last but not least, in terms of the fruit that we're going to prepare, is our pineapple. It's a big old pineapple. First of all, top comes off. And again, pineapple, healthy fruit. Tinned pineapple is equally healthy. I'm going to take the bottom off. Pineapple has vitamin C, vitamin B1, all good for us. Vitamin C helps us stop getting ill, especially stops mouth ulcers. And again, same technique as we used for the kiwi fruit, except I'm using my chef's knife now because we've got a bigger, chunkier piece of fruit, obviously. And what I'm doing, can you see the eye of the pineapple there? I'm trying to cut deep enough that I cut the eye of the pineapple off, but not so deep that I cut the whole lot of the yummy, juicy skin off. So it's a balancing act that we're trying to achieve, because the eye of the pineapple is not so nice to eat. It feels like you're munching on a bit of wood, which I can't imagine many of us want to have. Please make sure you've got a scrap bowl. My scrap bowl's super full at the moment because of all the fruit that I've got in it. And then once you've done that, we're going to cut our pineapple into quarters. Okay, keeping your work area nice and tidy. So in half like that, and then of course on the flat surface in half again. If you notice once you finish cutting that there's some eyes, see I've got some eyes that I've missed, just take them out with a smaller knife, okay? And then, I don't know whether you can see on the film, there's a core down the center of the pineapple, which is why when we buy tinned pineapple, there's a ring in the middle of it, because they've taken the core out for us. We're going to do the same. I want you to stand it upright. I don't want you cutting towards yourself or anything. Claw grip, and you're going to cut straight down to cut that core out. And then, just like we did with the kiwi fruit, 1 centimetre slices of our lovely pieces of pineapple. Okay, and you're going to do that with the whole pineapple. If you've got any left over, you can use it for lots of other stuff. While I finish preparing my fruit, I'm going to leave you because you've seen what you need to do, and we're back soon.